Whoop, whoop, what's up, yo, Bearcats? How we all doing? Been a minute, so we've seen you guys. Whoop, whoop. So, yeah, we are doing an impromptu HMG After Dark, the watch-along of the Mick Foley episode of The Dark Side of the Ring that just aired about a week or so ago. And watching it on Vice TV, I kind of had to, I don't have an account with them. I had to blow like a free pass to get to watch it. So, yeah, we are on Vice TV's actual website. And we're going to go ahead and hit play in 3, 2, 1, play.
On June 28th, 1998, at WWF's
Oh, Chris Jericho's still being the narrator. Nice.
As one of the most shocking in wrestling history. Undertaker in the cell. Hell in a Cell hits you like a mallet to the consciousness. Oh, really? I knew it's going to be crazy, but I didn't know it's going to be that crazy. You had two talents out there that like to really push that envelope until it fell over the edge. Oh, wrestling's fake. You can't fake gravity.
Dude, they got some good talking heads for this one, too. Gerald Briscoe, Al Snow.
What left fans stunned was the unrelenting punishment Mick Foley endured.
Dude, because Al Snow was the one who was there. He basically had to take care of Mick the next day.
This match was real. The pain was real. The drama was real.
I was cursing and screaming and calling him an effing idiot. Why are you doing this?
One of wrestling's most infamous matches, Hell in a Cell's legacy persists as both an epic success and a cautionary tale. I think we dodged bullets that day. Not just one, but several.
It's really crazy to think that they would allow someone to go unconscious and then just continue the match.
The collateral damage that ensued is another
Noel, how much of that call to continue the match was your dad's call?
decisions you make in 15 minutes in the spotlight. It was a dangerously crazy masterpiece. But all of us need to ask ourselves,
Because
worth it?
man, I don't think like you would have had to kill Mick to stop him that night. That's where his mind was at that night.
Everyone gets into wrestling is looking for something that they find missing in their own lives. For me, I was teased a lot, so I had an overwhelming need to be liked. WWF. For example, I remember being in college as a sophomore. I took a swig of red food coloring, and I did a superfly leap off a bed onto a stuffed animal on a concrete floor. And when I hit the floor, I spit that blood concoction out. Everybody in the dorm was there watching. And I heard one of the girls yell out, "That's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen." I felt that power. So I thought,
Okay, that's a story I've never heard Mick Foley tell before. Like, damn, pal.
my name is Mick Foley. I'm known as the
Man, I think I might start getting to know Mick Foley a little bit more because, like, the whole thing of just wanting to get reactions out of people, I kind of get that. Like, I kind of get and understand that feeling, pal.
My follow-up question is always like, did you expect all the matches to be like that? It's like, because they're not.
Normal Mick Foley match is quite hardcore, brutal, probably blood, thumbtacks, barbed wire.
Being exploded by C4 explosives in Japan.
That's the real C4 spike, pal. Fuck Josh Alexander.
Put it back so much. I'm Mickey Foley, and my dad's the hardcore legend Mick Foley.
I think he just really loves getting like an oh my god or gross or nasty type of pop.
Like, I understand. Here's okay. here's the similar. I get and understand why Mick would understand. Like, he wants to get a reaction out of people and get them to be like, you know, but the type of reactions me and him wanted to get were different. Let's put it that way. Dude, that was such a brilliant, like, violent spot. The whole getting tossed over and getting your head caught in the middle and top ropes. Like, damn, dude, that's insane.
I noticed that he was a gentle, nice person, but his corny jokes and terrible humor. That's what really made me fall in love with him. Our wedding song was actually beast.
We were a good team. She understood. She understood my commitment. Yeah, she really did.
When that adrenaline was pumping.
Honestly, what better wedding song would there be for Mick Foley and his wife than Beauty and the Beast?
And that was his drive to keep going and get more crazy.
Yeet!
He developed.
Chili time.
Mick was excellent with. Would be on him.
Whoop, whoop.
His reputation would grow.
Our bedroom furniture consists of a mattress on the floor with a black and white television with a VCR that barely worked, and in that VCR was Japanese wrestling tapes.
I would sometimes watch 12 hours of Japanese wrestling a day. I like the realism, the storytelling. It's not just man versus man. You have to defeat the surroundings. You know? I thought Japan was likely to be where I made my. They were looking for a foreigner who could feud with Terry Funk. Terry Funk was the greatest of all time for his ability to make people suspend disbelief in a second. Terry Funk became somewhat of a mentor to Mick. Started working together in the.
Yeah, you cannot tell the Mick Foley story without Terry Funk. You can't.
WWF at the time, it wasn't a PG era; it was a G rated era. And for someone like Mick, his style didn't really gel with what WWF was selling. My name is Al Snow. I'm a former WWE superstar. I was Mick Foley's travel partner, and dare I say, probably his best friend. Probably his only friend. Just kidding. This man did not.
Of course, Al Snow's got to get his jokes in there.
Why convinced McMahon to hire Mick was to give me a chance on my observations of talent, because I see something in this guy. I'm Jim Ross, and at the time of the Hell in a Cell, I was vice president of talent relations.
Yeah, you got to have Jim Ross in this too.
Partners for the top guys. Undertaker was one of the biggest stars in the history of wrestling. Vince kept trying to go with giants to face the Undertaker, which was boring and dull. What you needed was a lunatic. I heard a story about Vince slamming his hand down on the table and said, "All right, I'll bring him in, but I'm covering up his face. We don't know nothing about it." Well, that wasn't nothing. That's Vince's perception of Mick Foley.
Boy, did Mick show Vince.
Jerry Briscoe, WWE Hall of Famer, and Chickasaw. Man, it was like, okay, now you guys go build a character around nothing. So we come down to Mankind. What the hell is Mankind? This bogus bullshit wouldn't have worked with anybody but Mick Foley. Without a connection to the audience, without character, everything else is meaningless. I think fans can sense the commitment. My goal for Mick was that he was going to be a great opponent for The Undertaker. He was willing to try anything. My granny would say he didn't turn nothing down but the covers. Oh my God! So now I got this big challenge to not let him kill himself. The Undertaker and I were in the foundation. 7 pay-per-view, 10 TV matches. We've been around the globe together. But my character had kind of plateaued. I knew I had to do something would add to instead of detract from our legacy.
For 1998's King of the Ring pay-per-view, WWF producers plan to reignite the Mankind Undertaker feud with a recently developed concept, Hell in a Cell.
The way that they did cage matches in the WWF was you had to either get out by either climbing over the cage or leaving through the door. I asked Vince McMahon, I said, what about if this cage match is different? What about if we put a roof on the cage? Both go in, only one's coming out. And that's where we came up with Hell in a Cell. Undertaker and Shawn Michaels had the first Hell in a Cell. Well, the Michaels Undertaker match, technically, to me, it's still the best one. I just looked at this match open-jawed. I literally can't do any of the things that these guys are doing. Some 9 months later, they're going to do it again, this time The Undertaker and Mankind. And then I asked Terry Funk, what are we going to do? He started laughing. He went, you know, it'd be funny is, what if you actually started the match on top of the cell? And what if you were thrown off? Saying it as a joke. He stopped laughing. I looked at him and I said, I think I can do that. I did not get the idea out of my head. I pitched The Undertaker, Mr. McMahon, the idea of being thrown off into a casual conversation. It was a great sell job. I wasn't on board really for throwing me. I was not looking at this match as like a second act. I was just looking at it as a way to try to keep my head above water. I thought, when this run is done, I am too.
Did you know going into this what Mick had planned?
Yes, he told me the high spot. He can see it, he can do it, and I trust that.
We have only seen one Hell in a Cell matchup in WWF history, and it was the most unbelievable match that I think I've ever witnessed. I remember specifically thinking to myself, I need to come out with everything I've got, just eyes on the prize.
This match has so much riding on it, JR. As a loser may not even stop at the hospital. Go straight to the morgue.
Careful what you wish for, you just might get it.
Good God Almighty!
Knowing that the last time an audience saw this match, it was Shawn and Taker. Knowing that he's got to outdo that.
Dude, if
Exactly the most nimble guy in the world either. My name is Jimmy Corderas. At the time of
give me Jimmy Corderas, pal. Good shit, pal. Whoop whoop.
I was backstage watching on the monitors, and Gerald Briscoe was the one who produces there.
I had the best seat in the house. Sat right in front of about 10 monitors watching everything.
So you were like basically sitting in the captain's seat during Hell in a Cell?
I was the pilot, baby. This is probably the first time in 20 years.
Whoop whoop.
I don't think anyone could have ever imagined what they were going to see. I was as much in the dark as a fan watching at home. I did want to start the match in a way nobody had ever started a match before, and to do something no one had ever done.
Yeah, like this entire episode reinforces Vince Russo's story of the time when he, like finally, he got to talk to Mick backstage after this match. He's like, Mick, like, dude. And Mick's like, was it better than Undertaker and Shawn?
I'm actually not good with heights.
Yeet.
But there's 600 pounds of human beings up there.
Undertaker and I.
Okay, that's the first I've ever heard about like the panels being attached with zip ties. Like, what the fuck? Oh, damn.
When those zip ties were popping off, I thought, oh boy, this is not good. On top of that match, he cut that off, knowing that, there was a decent chance we were both going to go through it.
They're throwing punches, and they got towards the edge of the cage where the announce tables were.
I thought when they got
I'm thinking like zip ties. Really? You think? Well, to be fair, I don't think Mick really told anybody to start. Yeah, that's. You know what? I can kind of like looking at this entire situation. I can see the production crew not thinking the match is going to go to the top.
And lo and behold, the closer they got to the edge of the cage, the more I became convinced that something big's going to happen here momentarily. And it did. Then all of a sudden,
Here's Jim Ross and here's Jerry Lawler, as well as the Spanish announcers, and they're looking up, and a 300-pound human being is flung at them from almost 20 feet above them, and he's coming at them fast.
as strange as it sounds, it felt like an adult. It also went by a blink of an eye.
Yeah. Give me hardcore Santa, pal. What's up, Lab Rat? Good to see you, pal. Whoop whoop. Oh man, how you doing since we last seen you, pal? Whoop whoop.
Sound unpredictable, but scary as hell. In concern. It's like witnessing a car accident. Louis Will thought he was dead.
Damn, dude.
Business filled with crazy, strange things. Nobody had ever tried to do something like this before. It blew everybody's mind. And I thought, my God, this is over. There's no way he's going to get back up.
Yeah, this really was a game changer match in all of wrestling history.
We had two young children at the time, and they didn't know what to think of it. All I kept saying was, oh, it's fake just to soothe them. Yet in the back of my mind, I'm freaking out.
It's tough to know when it really is real. But it had to have heard it, and it was believable.
If the Undertaker threw him just a little too far or a little too short, that's falling from God knows how high onto concrete, or could have even landed on fans.
The pain would come later. I'm kind of flying high on adrenaline, and I
Give me the adrenaline, pal.
Pretty lofty goal. I mean, going through the table could not have been better.
He saw it in his head, and in midair, he turned in such a way that he was able to land flat on that announce desk to cushion that fall and not kill it.
Or when it did, you should have heard the voices back there. Replay that.
Replay that.
The Spanish commentator bailed out of his chair instead of getting flattened.
It was pretty dramatic, because it was my friend out there and being torn with the rule that you don't step in, you don't interfere with whatever Mick was trying to construct.
The fans were literally this guy laying at their feet, and they're looking at all the attendants and the referees. There's Terry Funk.
Well, Terry Funk was the first one to get there. I asked Terry, is he conscious? Right there. Now we're trying to make room for Dr. Francois to get there.
So I went,
Dr. Francois, aka Sub-Zero, pal. Oh, they got Francois for this. Yes, yes, they got Francois.
5 years on the road, and before that, for about 8-9 years in Los Angeles.
Francois was kind of like the French army. Francois was a black belt in karate. He was Sub-Zero in the first Mortal Kombat movie.
Dude, they even showed footage of him as Mortal and Sub-Zero. Yes, fuck yeah.
He could fix you. You probably wouldn't enjoy it, but he could put you back in place. No matter what the malady was. Baby, I fix you. I fix you, baby.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, yeah. Francois. Go back and watch the original Mortal Kombat movie, like the actual 1995 Mortal Kombat movie. He is Sub-Zero.
The EMT people have no idea how to get the gurney down there. And it turns out the gurney wouldn't.
Dude, in fact, this is the first time I've ever seen like Francois. I take that back. They've actually shown Francois on Raw before, and I've seen him before.
We thought the damn thing was over with. I mean, what else can they do, you know?
But yeah, looking at him now, he's like, this is what I expect that dude to look like now, which is the dude looks like he's barely aged.
Feeling that I'm going to be able to continue.
Everybody was trying to tell him, no, Mick, you're done. Stop.
Where are you going? Why are you doing this? Just stay down.
shit, he's coming back for more?
I'm thinking this got to be the craziest, dumbest SOB in our business.
Here, you know what I think? This is my opinion, and this is just me what I'm learning from watching this. What made this match work is because it got real. Mick Foley's like, no, I'm not going to stay down. I'm going to see this through to the finish. And you got to kill me to stop that from happening.
I guess at the end of the day, I'm glad that they went back up because it created another moment. It added to the storyline. But sometimes you can storyline yourself right to the hospital.
The next spot in the storyline pitched by Mick Foley was far less concerning. At least at first.
We had already agreed on the one choke slam which we thought would cause the mesh to gradually give way. And the big visual was going to be Undertaker like stuffing me down, but that did not happen.
Well, I mean, yeah, that did happen. It was just that wasn't part of the plan. And I'm sure him just. And that shot of like that shot of him, like, his, looked like him smiling. He's like, no, I'm like, wait, I'm like, moving. He said it was him moving his tongue around his mouth, like, hey, where's my tooth at? Yeah, that was kind of unplanned, unscripted. And the stars just kind of happened to align and make everything right on that one.
Tell your children, oh, daddy's out. Motionless. This was not expected at all. I thought that was the end of him.
Man, and that's the frightening part right there, is like they tell the story of you got his wife and kids watching this live at home, and it's like, and his wife's trying to figure out how to explain this to their kids. Like, damn, pal.
That doesn't do justice. It's more like hitting the cement. As he's falling, that metal, heavy, solid folding chair came right behind him.
You could see when he lands that chair, boom, there's a chair on his face, boom.
He could have very easily died. I mean, my mom thought he was dead also.
I was shocked. I was screaming. I was furious because I thought he betrayed me by not telling me the truth that there was another spot.
There we go. Slam. Oh, that was the first time in his career that he'd been legitimately knocked out cold. We all flooded the cage, Dr. Francois, Terry Funk. The guys that went out there were thinking this might be the end. He was really not responsive at that point. I turn around and look at Undertaker. And I say, okay, that's enough. Because I saw his eyes not answering. Man,
Dude, I remember like Undertaker talking about like he was. Oh, here we go.
I was legit scared for what the results were going to be.
The Undertaker looked at Terry and said, see if he's alive. Terry reports back, he's still breathing. There were so many times where I'd seen stars, but I'd never been out for more than a couple seconds. And this time there's 42 seconds.
Yeah, and that spot was not supposed to happen. Like that was not supposed to. He was not supposed to go through that cell. Like that panel was not supposed to break. Like Undertaker legit thought Mick was dead there for a few moments.
We didn't stop matches. We bought time. I needed every second that I could get.
Dude, and like this match more than anything to show what like tough badasses both Mick Foley and the Undertaker are.
Oh my God, he is a freaking mess.
Like, and then the fact, like, again,
Think that they would allow
put yourself in the Undertaker's shoes.
let someone go unconscious.
This guy just fell through the cell,
As the clouds began to clear,
and I'm wondering, is he dead? Like, I at some point in my mind, in his mind, he legit believes Mick might be dead, and then he's continuing the match, and they're going through it like, though, like, dude, man, like, what kind of fortitude that takes to pull that off on the fly on live pay-per-view, man. Dude, that cannot be understated.
This match was real. The pain was real. The drama was real. The expressions on everybody's face were real. Real concern.
You could look in his eyes and tell you there was nobody home. And I'm trying to talk to him. All he wanted to do is got to get to the tax.
It's was their first appearance in WWE. I felt like I should be the guy to bring him over. It's purposely rolling around, make sure he gets all the thumbtacks on him as much as possible.
When the adrenaline is taking over, you don't realize the pain. You're part of the pain. You're pushing so far, you don't even know you're doing it.
Mick is very.
That's so true about adrenaline.
Whatever it is.
It's like pain. What pain? I gotta get this shit done, pal.
Finally, the 17-minute match comes to an end with The Undertaker defeating Mankind.
What a spectacle it was. In that Pittsburgh Civic Arena, 16,000 people. We've never seen anything like this before. They brought the stretcher out because we thought it was needed for sure. But he waved it off, and that crowd went absolutely insane. This was real as a heart attack, and the people could tell. That puts the fans in the corner of this guy who just cannot be stopped. And that's the kind of shit that gets over.
The audience is invested.
Yeah, like
their money.
right. Yeah, this match went a long way of turning Mick Foley back babyface, like creating the babyface Mankind character.
Thank God this is over. We kept taking these chances, and another chance, and another chance. And for flying.
As long as I live, I will never forget what we just witnessed right there, folks.
He would always call and check in with me, let me know that he's okay.
And now here comes the one pay-per-view where she really needs to know, and there's no phone call.
I had to wait and wait and wait. It made me worry, and that anger came back. And a few hours later, Mick calls me.
She was screaming at me. Your children thought you were dead. I think prior to the sell, she prepared by trusting that I wasn't going to do anything to jeopardize.
Yes, sir. I've already made sure to preemptively take the entire weekend off from work so we can do the HMG WrestleMania 2 night watch along, pal. Whoop whoop.
Check on him, make sure he was as okay as he could possibly be.
One of the first people to greet Mick at the curtain was Vince McMahon. He said, Mick, I want to thank you for what you've done for my company, and I want you to promise me that you will never do anything like it again. And pull those thumbtacks out of it. I'm going backstage, and I overheard Mick say to Taker, did we do the thumbtack spot? He doesn't realize that the doctor's just plucking him out of him right now.
Damn.
I love somebody who respect him as much as I did Mick. My first thought was, are you okay? Are you really okay?
I don't think he truly anticipated severe that.
Hey, who knows, man?
Like,
We might.
I had to tell him,
It's WrestleMania weekend, pal. Who knows? Whoop whoop.
I think it was 15 stitches underneath the lip. Lost these 2 teeth. I don't even know if I was treated for a concussion. I had a bruised kidney for about 6 weeks. My jaw was dislocated. I can't remember which shoulder was dislocated. But you know what? That match changed the way people felt about me. And that's what really sparked the career renaissance.
What you did on the cell. I want to publicly thank you.
Going from Vince not wanting to see him in a WWF ring to 6 months after the match, he was world champion.
The reaction, the pop, the adrenaline, the rush, the more he did, the more risks he took, it made me worry. The bar kept just going up because it was never good enough.
I think he felt like he had to live up to being a hardcore legend, continuing things that he probably shouldn't have.
Oh, yeah, we got, yeah, one of them's 420, pal. Whoop whoop.
He felt like he owed it to the guy he was working with. He owed it to the people to do something that they hadn't seen before.
I remember giving him not a scolding, but a warning. To continue to try to do these type things, it's going to catch up with you. He understood, but he didn't agree with me.
Just 7 months later, Mick Foley again pushes his limits, this time in a brutal Rock in the infamous I Quit match.
No stopping the match for excessive blood loss.
Oh, nice. So touching on the I Quit match a little bit.
I told Mick, that's it. Children was super brutal from the beginning.
I got carried away. I had told him, lay it in.
To be fair to Mick, Rock did take liberties. Rock did kind of take liberties with Foley.
5 shots, I took 11 shots.
Like Rock did go further beyond than what they agreed to.
What was fiction, but also in the middle of this fiction, it was a fact. He got brain damage for a.
That'd be fun, pal. Whoop whoop.
Where does it end? What does it
Oh yeah, like Foley's talking about how he was pissed at The Rock after this match. Like, dude, you went way beyond what we agreed to.
One singular memory of my dad ever wrestling. Part of me thinks it's because it was very traumatic to me, like how changed my dad's health. Like if you were to get 11 headshots, a normal person probably could have died. Sickening, honestly. I really hate the I Quit match.
Mick always wanted to over-deliver. And somewhere down the road, all of us need to ask ourselves the question, was it worth it?
I understood the style I chose was going to result in great discomfort. There were so many times where I could have made a move less painful, but chose not to because I thought it would look better.
There were a handful of doctors saying that you need to stop now. If you continue wrestling, you'll wind up crippled. Do you think that stopped him?
I still thought I had one good match left in me. So I set about trying to delay the inevitable.
There were times when he should not have been wrestling. He shouldn't have been cleared. He'd drive around and not remember where he lived. It's concussion on top of concussion on top of concussion.
My appointment with the WWE neurologist had not gone particularly well, so I booked an appointment independent of WWE. I'll never forget what he told me. He said, Mr. Foley, if you want to try to find another neurologist to clear you, that's up to you. But I'm telling you, you should never wrestle again. If you've pushed those physical limits like Mick has, yeah, you're definitely going to pay the price. And sadly, Mick is paying that price right now. The long-term effects of concussions when guys take a bump, impact in the brain, similar to the experience in a 25-mile-per-hour car accident. I can only imagine the type of pain that Mick has to live with.
I'm really glad they got Al Snow for this because he's one of the perfect like talking heads you can get for one of these. For this one especially.
That is a long-term effect of repetitive concussions and brain trauma. We don't really know how my dad will be doing in 10, 20 years or so.
If you're wondering if I'm worried about that, yeah, really worried. Every day I'm worried about that. The fallout from what I've done, I honestly don't see a way out of it.
That's one of the most respected.
But I'm going to fight it. I'm going to try to be someone who continues to get sharper as they get older. And so I have these spoken word shows. It's like mental gymnastics for my mind. I hear the crowd chanting.
Putting on a show, having that stimulation from people, that keeps them going.
I can either appreciate what I have, or I could live in complete fear about the unknown. So I'm going to continue to enjoy myself.
He lived his dream. He made his dream. He needs to feel accepted, especially
Get me head, pal.
his legacy. I tell him, go do the things you like to do, but don't push your luck.
Colette knew that I was kind of my own worst enemy when I was in the ring. Wild costumes and engage in a fantasy form of combat that leaves a lot of us in worse condition than we arrived at. And we do it to earn the acceptance of total strangers. For me, it was all about reactions. The eyes lighting up, my desire to be authentic. I definitely wanted to be loved.
All the sacrifices you put your physique through just for the roar of them.
Like that roar. You can't say that's a fault without also admitting that it's responsible for my success.
Mick Foley is known for many things. He's a multiple-time champion. He's donated time.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I can't disagree with Mick. It's kind of a double-edged sword there, pal.
Hell in a cell.
For years, I really harbored some resentment for that match because it was the only thing that I was known for. I was in a dark place for a while. On one hand, I knew I'd done a lot in wrestling. On the other hand, I felt like I'd accomplished nothing at all. The Undertaker and I, we were reminiscing, and he says, "You know, Jack, we did that night will outlive us both." And that was a major. That's what I got into wrestling for, to try to create moments like that.
Dude, yeah, I'm glad Undertaker told Mick that. I think that might, yeah, because I even mixed it like, yeah, that kind of helped me get through that. And like, where it's like, yeah, we created something that will outlive the both of us.
Because few people in the world can put you in awe. And those people do. This is the beauty of it.
Me and my dad, we were at the WWE warehouse and we came across the cell. My dad certainly wasn't expecting to see it. He touched it and he just started tearing up and started crying. I've never seen my dad cry. For something to make him cry must have been really important and life-changing and also probably pretty scary. Like this could have been it.
I'm lucky I'm here after that. There's no reward.
Man, dude, yeah, not when you put, man, that's kind of a really interesting perspective to put it in. Like, that was literally a coin toss of like what happened that night in that Hell in a Cell match was a little coin toss of death or glory, and it ended up with glory.
There were some bumps in the road, but it was a pretty magical way to make a living. Things were really good. It was one of the most powerful feelings in the world.
All righty, good stuff, pal. And that's going to do it for us tonight. Been a long night. Thank you guys so much for stopping in and hanging out. Always appreciate getting to chill and hang out with you guys. It's always a pleasure and a privilege. Our schedule for the rest of the week, well, we got, tomorrow night, we got Wednesday Locker Room. We got HMG Dynamite watch along and belt count. And then Thursday we got the TNA Impact watch along and belt count. Friday, Locker Room, SmackDown watch along and belt count. Saturday, Smack Attack. And then HMG After Dark. And then Sunday, Wreckage, followed by AEW Dynasty belt count. Monday, Locker Room, Raw watch along, Impact Attack. So yeet, pal. Hey, what's up, Sports Show? Good to see you, pal. Whoop, whoop. So yeah, we're going to take care. Have a great rest of your night. Much love. Whoop, whoop. Yeet, yeet. Take care, pal.